everybody, I'm Sarah and I'm a recorder player. Last month my new book, My Favourite Melodies for Alto Recorder, was released, published by Shot, and a fan favourite has emerged, The Swan by Camille Saint-Saëns. It's easy to hear why. This is such a rich, luscious melody on top of a gently murmuring piano accompaniment. So let me take you through how to play it. First, where does this movement come from? The Swan is part of a larger work, The Carnival of the Animals from 1886. In this suite we get 14 movements depicting an array of wildlife, from the aquarium to birds, kangaroos to tortoises to fossils. Saint-Saëns himself saw the composition as a bit of fun. There's even a movement entitled The Pianists as part of the zoo. The composer had written to his publishers admitting that he was meant to be working on his third symphony, but this suite was just too amusant. I guess the big name composers know about procrastination too. The Swan was actually the only movement to be published during the composer's lifetime. Saint-Saëns was concerned that this suite as a whole would take away from his serious image. He specified in his will that it should be published after his death. And a good thing it was too. How sad the world would be if all creative people denied us their fantasy. Through all the humour, this work evokes real beauty too. So let's look at the music. The key. Yes, we are in A flat major. Why? The original is in G major, a semitone lower and much less complicated in terms of key. The original has that gorgeous low note of E. Unfortunately, the regular alto recorder doesn't have that note. My modern recorder actually does. But I want this to be able to be played by everybody. Could I have put that note up the octave? No, then we lose the shape of the melody and its dramatic heart. I have to tell you, I ummed and ahed for weeks about the key. An easier tonality then made all of those high notes way too high. A flat major fits the range perfectly. There are just a lot of flats. But here's the thing, these flat fingerings are actually really stable on the recorder. Take an alto, play an A flat with me. Gorgeous! I love that note. Play the top E flat with me. Fantastic! In fact, Frans Bruggen claimed this, the E flat, as his favourite note. We have a lot going on in the key signature, but these notes work. Let's look at bar 8 and 9. The harmony moves to a kind of C melodic minor and then a G major 7. All of this serves to cancel out our flats in the melody. We're all naturals again. And finally, for those crunchy bars in terms of fingers, where we do have a lot of flats or accidentals to contend with, why not practice this skill with a relatively slow, very well-known tune? Incorporate these skills with a piece you know and you can follow by ear. Expression. This is such an expressive piece and we want to sing it out. I like to up the emotion by sprinkling in vibrato. Let's warm up, shall we? We're using an expressive breath vibrato, warm and rich and not too fast. Play with me just to warm it up. But where to play it? As an experiment, let's add that vibrato everywhere. I want you to see if you like it this way. Fun. What do you think? For me, it's a little bit too much. I feel a bit seasick. This was an extreme example, but sometimes wind instruments such as the flute incorporate vibrato into their basic tone. In my script here, it says play this on the flute. Give me a second. Where's my flute? When I made this plan yesterday, I thought this was a great idea. This is not my flute, by the way. I think it's John's flute. I do not know where my flute is. Vibrato as part of the tone. We approach it differently on the recorder. It's more of an ornament used lightly to taste. When interpreting romantic music, however, you do you. If you prefer more vibrato than normal, be my guest. I am not going to tell you how to experience joy. As a guideline, I'm going to add my vibrato to the longer anchor notes. Let's say anything longer than a crotchet, quarter note. Let's try. So I'm trying to shape it towards the middle of the note. Finally, dynamics. The original suite would have had a huge palette of dynamics available to the musicians. The instrumentation was, get ready for it, 2 pianos, 2 violins, viola, cello, double bass, flute and piccolo, clarinet, glass harmonica and xylophone. Well, our movement begins pianissimo in the piano part, and we have lots of hairpins growing and fading, a mezzo forte climax. How can our recorder live up to this? My advice is, even though the piece is soft, your starting point as a musician should always be sound. All too often with a softer piece, I see students going in straight away with all the alternate soft fingerings, which can make it sound very careful and fragile. If that's what you're going for, great. But I feel like I want the Swan to be calm but rich. Keep this in mind, dynamics are relative. You can begin with a lovely sound and then increase the intensity later on with tools such as vibrato, tone and overtones, timing, expressive performances to suggest a louder dynamic. Dynamics aren't only about your decibel level. So compare this and this. I actually blew the same dynamic both times. The raw dynamic didn't change, but you experienced a difference in dynamics, hopefully, because of my performance. And if you do want to get into alternative fingerings, why don't we look at the very last note? A flat. For a strong, resonant ending, let's play the normal A flat. For an intimate ending that fades away, we'll take the alternative half 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, half 6. This gives a more covered sound, and then you can gradually leak finger 6 to create a diminuendo. Wow, now you have lots of material to go forth and have fun with, because remember what the composer said, this should be fun. It would be remiss of me not to let you know where you can go and get the sheet music. So my book, My Favourite Melodies for Alto, is available through Shot, both in printed and digital form on their website. You can also buy the individual pieces separately on digital download, if you only want the Swan. And if you'd like a signed copy of the book with a personal message from yours truly, you can get that at my web shop. All links below. As always, you can subscribe to my channel by clicking on my face down here in the corner. Here's my web shop where you can get my books and other team recorded goodies, and here's some more videos. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye!